Welcome back. Exclusively tonight on 12 News, a story involving Arizona history, a murderous Bonnie and Clyde type duo, and a fallen Maricopa County Sheriff's deputy who was killed in the line of duty nearly 100 years ago. The story begins back in 1930. The deputy's picture has been lost to history, and he was found buried in an unmarked grave in Mesa. But tonight, we can tell his story, and his final resting place will soon reflect what he did all those years ago, protecting Arizona.
A wall at the Maricopa County Training Center is lined with the framed pictures of deputies who have given their lives in the line of duty. But this frame is empty. It's where a picture of Deputy Robert Lee Wright should be. And not only that, when members of a group called the Fallen Hero Wreath Program went to lay a wreath on his grave, as they do with all fallen deputies, they found only this: a bare spot in the grass at the Mesa City Cemetery. There was no headstone or grave marker at all for Deputy Wright. What did you think when you saw that?
My heart fell. I thought that he deserved better than that. That he gave his life, he made the ultimate sacrifice, and here he was in a pauper's grave, unrecognized, and no one knew his story.
The story of Deputy Wright's heroic stand against a famous criminal gang happened all the way back in 1930. We still don't have a picture of the deputy, but the pictures of those who killed him were plastered over newspapers all over the country. This is a cross-country crime spree.
Cross-country, almost like a Bonnie and Clyde episode.
They were the original Bonnie and Clyde.
Iron Irene Schroeder and Glenn Dagg shot and killed a highway patrolman in Pennsylvania after a robbery, and then sped west to try to escape capture. They picked up a third member of their gang along the way.
The three of them realized that they actually were pretty good criminals together. So they continued their way. They were making their way west, and they were doing whatever they needed to do in order to continue. And that meant lying, cheating, stealing, robbing, and ultimately killing our deputy.
The shooting of Deputy Wright happened in downtown Chandler, very near the San Marcos Hotel. Back in 1930, this park in downtown Chandler was much larger, and this street over here next to us went all the way through. It was a busy street. Just across the street was a garage where cars would get repaired, and that's where Deputy Wright came through and found this murderous gang. Wright was shot in the arm, but the bullet hit an artery, and he died from his wounds 2 weeks later. The shooters then headed west into the Estrella Mountains trying to escape, but a group of 100 deputies, posse members, even Native American trackers found them. The scene depicted in a comic book at the time. The murderous gang had become famous.
The publicity was nationwide. Everybody knew this story.
Wow. Even in 1930.
Even in 1930.
But while their story was well known, even celebrated, this picture captures the criminal lovers as they were allowed, incredibly, to take a final train ride together as they were brought to be executed in the electric chair. The story of Deputy Wright was nearly forgotten. That is, until now. So here we are, 94 years later, more than 94, and what is this, Sheriff?
Yes, and obviously this is a great honor to have a headstone in memory of Deputy Robert Lee Wright, where he is actually placed in this cemetery.
The MCSO Posse, a nonprofit, paid for a headstone for Deputy Wright. It was just put in place.
Deputy Wright's bravery, his sacrifice won't go unrecognized. That in the future, anybody that stops here, that will see his name, the end of watch note, the sheriff's star, they'll know that he gave his life in the line of duty. And a little bit of respect, a little bit of honor, a little bit of dignity. He didn't deserve to be in a pauper's grave.
And on Monday, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office will hold a memorial service for Deputy Wright. An honor guard from Pennsylvania will also be there, as the highway patrol officer from there was the first killed in the crime spree. We will, of course, be there and bring you an update. We're also going to put this story on our 12 Plus app, along with additional interviews and information.